This is a compilation of footage, mostly shot by drone, from our recent trip to Italy. This is from the farm we stayed at that has a B&B attached. These vineyards grow grapes for Lambrusco wine and balsamic vinegar. And here's Matteo running through the vineyard. This kind of accommodation is called an agriturismo, and it's essentially a farm or a vineyard with a B&B that is part of it. Now, waking up and having breakfast and coffee with this view certainly beat having coffee with a morning meeting back at home. The first town we visited was Parma, and here's our family walking through the streets of Parma on the way to the Duomo, or the cathedral. Now you're going to catch a small view of the cathedral, and to the right of that you'll see the baptistry. The cathedral is actually very famous for its Renaissance Correggio paintings, a very famous painter from that period. Now the next morning we visited a dairy farm where they make a very special kind of cheese, which you'll see in the next few clips. Here are these two guys hard at work making the famous Parmigiano Reggiano cheese. They have aisles and aisles of these drums of cheese, thousands of them. The next day we visited the town of Modena, where they make the famous balsamic vinegar of Modena, and this is the piazza with the Duomo and some other historic buildings. We ate in a very famous restaurant behind a 400-year-old butcher shop. That family that made that butcher shop invented balsamic vinegar 400 years ago. The next day we visited this beautiful lakeside town called Sirmione, which sits on Lago di Garda, or Lake Garda. And from this town, you can actually see the foothills of the Alps, which makes for an incredible view. This castle that we're circling now was built by the Della Scala family, which were rulers of the region during the Middle Ages. And the castle was closed by the time we got there, so the only way for us to get the gorgeous view of the lake and the waters and the town from atop that tower was to actually fly the drone. Now this town also had these beautiful thermal hot springs from which you could see the lake and the Alps. Now these hot springs were well known even during the Roman times for their healing properties, and boy did they leave our skin feeling baby soft. We'd wished we'd dunked our faces in the water so we could have de-aged a few years during the time we were there. While we were there, we also visited the House of Catullus, a very wealthy Roman nobleman, and you can see the Alps foothills off in the distance. Our next stop was the beautiful town of Verona, where Romeo and Juliet takes place. Currently, we are flying over Piazza delle Erbe, where the old Roman Forum used to be, and which is still used as the city's main market, open-air market, to this day. This is from the balcony of the Palazzo Mazzanti, where we spent 3 nights. Now this whalebone that's hanging from this arch has a story attached to it. On the lower right you'll see a pharmacy, and it is said that that whalebone was to advertise a pharmacy that has been there for a very long time. They used to grind whalebones to make certain medicines. This is our walk up to the Castello Vecchio, from which we'll be able to see a beautiful view of the city of Verona. And this is the absolutely jaw-dropping view of Verona from the Castello Vecchio. The final night, we decided to take a quick pit stop in a town called Citta Alta di Bergamo, and it was a veritable Christmas wonderland, a very beautiful town.